What is energy? How do we know we are using energy? Before we answer these questions, don't forget to join one of our membership programs. Your support helps us keep going. Energy basics.
Energy is part of everything that happens in the world and everything we do. Energy is found in many different forms around us. In order for an object to be put into motion, to play outside, read a book, or draw,
all these activities need energy. Energy is the ability to do work or make things happen.
Whenever you detect motion, heat, light, or sound, you can be sure energy is being used. Work occurs when a force causes an object to move.
When you kick a ball, the force of your kick causes the ball to move in a different direction. Energy was needed to move your leg, which caused the ball to move. So the work done by this player causes the ball to move.
Now let's know 2 facts about energy.
Energy can be stored and changed into different forms.
Can you tell me an example?
When you hold a book, it stores a potential energy. When you let it fall down to the ground, the book is moving where the potential energy changes into kinetic energy.
There are 2 categories of energy: kinetic energy and potential energy. We will discuss it in details in the next video.
We cannot see energy, but we can see and measure what energy can do. And feel its presence.
Can you explain more?
Sound energy can't see, but we can hear the sound. Electric energy can't see, but we can see the light energy produced from it. Thermal energy can't see, but we can feel the heat and eat the cooked food. Chemical energy can't see, but we can use the remote control.
Now explore your room. Locate different objects that use or contain energy. Record what you find in the table. Remember that objects may use or contain several different kinds of energy. What is the forms of energy you can observe in the room? Mechanical energy produced from
Fans. Clocks.
chemical energy stored in
Batteries. Food. Objects operated by batteries such as clock, remote control, cell phone.
thermal energy produced from
Matches. Electrical heater.
light energy produced from
Lamps. Flashlight. Computer screen.
sound energy produced from
Radios. Alarm bells. Musical instruments.
electrical energy used to operate
Televisions. Lamps. Musical instruments. Computer screen. Electrical heater.
If a book drops from your hand, what force pulls it to the ground? What kind of energy does the book have as it falls? Where did the book get the energy to fall? Before we answer these questions, don't forget to join one of our membership programs. Your support helps us keep going. Kinetic and potential energy.
One way that scientists talk about energy is to classify energy as kinetic or potential energy.
Objects have kinetic energy if they are in motion.
So what is the potential energy?
Potential energy is possible or stored energy. While you hold the book, it has potential energy. Potential energy is stored energy or the energy of position. The word potential means that something is possible. In other words, potential energy means that an object is ready to do work or to be active. When you let go and it falls on your foot, the book is moving and has kinetic energy.
We learned that energy is the ability to do work. Energy makes things happen. If there were no energy on Earth, nothing would get done. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. The word kinetic means that something is moving.
In other words, kinetic energy is the energy an object has because it is moving.
Look to this child. A child at the top of a ground slide has a potential energy. When the child moves down along the slide, the potential energy changes into kinetic energy. Any stopped object on the Earth's surface has no energy, while any stopped object at a height from has a potential energy
And can be changed to a kinetic energy.
Have you ever used a flashlight that required batteries? What is the source of light?
And why the light cannot produced when the batteries used long time?
Before we answer these questions, don't forget to join one of our membership programs. Your support helps us keep going. Types of energy.
Let's explore more examples of potential energy, kinetic energy, and how energy can be transformed from one to the other. Energy is all around us and is constantly changing and transforming from one form to another. You mean that energy can transform from potential forms to kinetic forms and vice versa?
When you kick a ball, the kinetic energy moves from your leg into the ball. When the goalkeeper catches the ball, the kinetic energy transformed again into potential energy. No matter how it changes or moves, energy can only be transferred or changed from one form to another. New energy can't be created and existing energy can't be destroyed.
This is known as the law of conservation of energy.
All forms of energy are either potential or kinetic. Potential energy is energy waiting to happen. This is also called stored energy. Energy can be stored in many different forms. Remember that potential energy can easily transform into kinetic and kinetic can transform into potential energy.
Have you ever used a flashlight that required batteries?
There is chemical energy stored in a battery. This is one type of potential energy. When the flashlight is turned on, the potential energy is transformed into radiant energy, light, and thermal energy, heat.
A gas oven turns the chemical energy stored in natural gas into thermal energy that cooks your food.
The food you eat also stores another type of chemical energy. Your digestive system breaks down the food you eat into energy it can store. If you have ever used a spring-powered car, you might have noticed that its spring wire stores kinetic energy.
Wind it up.
When you let go, the spring wire unwinds and transforms into kinetic energy to make the car move. Kinetic energy is energy in motion. A real car transforms chemical energy of gasoline into mechanical, sound, and thermal energy that are all kinetic as it drives down the road.
The engine is where this transformation takes place.
What happens when you turn on a light? Does energy store in many different forms? Can energy also change from one form to another? Before we answer these questions, don't forget to join one of our membership programs. Your support helps us keep going. Forms of potential and kinetic energy.
You have learned that potential energy is energy that is stored in an object. You could say that an object with potential energy is not doing anything right now, but it has the potential to do work in the future. You have already learned about several types of potential energy.
For example, a ball at the top of a hill has a type of potential energy called gravitational potential energy, because it could roll down the hill. Batteries have potential energy in the form of stored chemical energy that is not used until the battery is connected to something. A compressed spring has potential energy that could suddenly be released if you are not careful.
Kinetic energy is the movement of something. When you're riding in a car, the car has potential energy when it's parked on a ramp. It has kinetic energy when moving from the top of the slope downward. Kinetic energy also exists in sound or light waves moving through the air, movement of electricity through a wire, vibrations of particles in a substance as it heats up.
This means that sound, electrical energy, and thermal energy are all types of kinetic energy.
Energy is transformed easily from one form into another. For example, a child at the top of a playground slide has potential energy. As the child moves down the slide, the potential energy is changed into kinetic energy. A car has potential energy when parked on a ramp and kinetic energy when it is moving down a ramp. The following table contains examples of potential energy and kinetic energy.
Potential energy.
Chemical. Gravitational.
Kinetic energy.
Solar. Thermal. Electrical. Light. Sound. Remember, anything can have potential energy.
How much potential energy an object has depends on a few things, including how massive the object is and how high up it is.
You might know that cars and trucks need gasoline to run. But what is gasoline made of? How does it make a car move?
Before we answer these questions, don't forget to join one of our membership programs. Your support helps us keep going. Energy transformation in engines. Gasoline contains chemical energy, and a car's engine transforms that energy to power the car. Gasoline also powers trucks, boats, and many other large and small vehicles. The energy in gasoline is called chemical potential energy. It is called potential energy because it has the potential to power many things. It is just like the food you eat that gives you energy for your day. The moving car has mechanical kinetic energy. You may have noticed that when a car engine runs, it makes noise and gives off heat. This means that some of the potential energy is being transformed into sound and thermal energy. This is the engine inside a car or bus, which is called an internal combustion engine. An internal combustion engine can safely burn gasoline inside it. The energy is changed from potential energy into kinetic energy. which is motion energy. Kinetic energy is what causes the car or bus to move. One important thing to remember about energy is that it can't be created or destroyed. Energy can only change.
New energy can't be created and existing energy can't be destroyed. This is known as the law of conservation of energy.
Let's investigate an example of an object that moves very fast, a roller coaster. What do you wonder about the energy needed to get the roller coaster moving?
What happened to that energy as it moved? Before we answer these questions, don't forget to join one of our membership programs. Your support helps us keep going. Roller coasters.
Have you ever been on a roller coaster? Imagine riding up a tall hill in a roller coaster car. You slowly creep up the first steep hill. You pause briefly at the top of the gigantic hill, holding your breath. Then the speed of the train you are riding will increase as it heads down the ramp.
So, where did the energy to go that fast come from?
At the beginning of a roller coaster, electric motors are used to carry the car up to the top of the hill. We use the electricity energy to carry the train up to the top of the hill. When the roller coaster reached the top of the hill, the roller coaster stores the potential energy to fall fast through the ramp.
But on the way down, the roller coaster car does not need electricity. The car actually stored up some energy just by traveling higher and higher.
On the way down, this stored potential energy changed to a more active form of kinetic energy.
Have you ever seen ice skaters performing? What is the types of energy and the transformations that occur while someone is ice skating? Before we answer these questions, don't forget to join one of our membership programs. Your support helps us keep going. Kinetic energy and potential energy in winter sports.
Figure skating is a popular winter sport in many countries. The best figure skaters from around the world compete in the Winter Olympics.
Ice skaters can do amazing things. While watching an Olympic skating program, you might see an ice skater do a jump and land on one skate. Ice skaters not only learn the skills of skating and jumping, but they also learn how to be strong and confident. They discover what foods to eat to provide energy for skating and life.
Let's think about when a skater begins to skate. The potential energy in her body changes into kinetic energy. The kinetic energy in her strong leg muscles help her jump high into the air. She is working very hard. A lot of energy is being used as well. At the top of the jump, her energy changes again. Because she is up in the air at the top of jump, she has most potential energy. Gravity pulls her back down to the ice, turning her potential energy back to kinetic energy.
You can think of this like a basketball at the top of its arc.
Or consider energy in some other popular activities where snowy winters are common, or sand surfer on a dune. Look at the different videos and think about energy use.
Energy can transform from potential forms to kinetic forms and vice versa.
Have you ever seen circus acrobat performs teeterboard tricks? What is the types of energy and the transformations that occur while someone is performing teeterboard tricks? Before we answer these questions, don't forget to join one of our membership programs. Your support helps us keep going. Kinetic energy and potential energy in circus acrobat.
Circus acrobat players can do amazing things. While watching circus acrobat, you might see a player 1 in a tower has a potential energy. When he jumped down, his potential energy is converted into kinetic energy.
The resulted kinetic energy transfers to the acrobat 2 who's standing on the seesaw at the base of the tower, and causes him to be pushed up on the air. During the movement of player 2 in the air, his kinetic energy is converted to a potential energy.
As the height of an object from the Earth's surface increases, its potential energy that is stored inside it increases.
You are excellent. This is the end of Concept 2 of Unit 2 of Science 4th Primary. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video.